I am one of the respiratory therapists from Midwest Medical, and today I'm going to show you the Respironics System 1 CPAP and BiPAP machines. That I have it right here, and the first thing that I'm going to show you is what's on the back of the machine. This is where your power cord connects. It just pulls right out, pops right in there, and this connects to a cord which will connect to this box. The cord comes out the other side, and that will plug into your wall. On the bottom of the machine, there are two filters. There's a foam filter, and there's also a disposable filter. The disposable filter should be changed whenever it looks dirty, or at least monthly. You would just throw that away and you'd put in a clean one. Your foam filter should be cleaned weekly or more often if necessary. And you'll see it'll look a little dusty or dirty. You'll just take it out, you'll rinse it out under your faucet, squeeze it out, let it air dry, and pop it back in. This is where your air inlet is for the machine, so you need to make sure and keep those filters clean, and you also want to make sure that this does not get blocked, because if this is blocked, then you will not get air into your machine. Up above, you have a spot for an SD card. The unit will collect data, and the SD card is a way for us to get the data out of the machine and send that off to your doctor. You just push on that, your card will come out, and to put it back in, you just pop it back in. Now sometimes instead of an SD card, you'll have a modem, and the modem would go in here in place of this cover and SD card. And if you're using a modem, most of the time at some point we'll be requesting the modem back, and we would have you take the modem out, and we would send you this little cover plate and card that would go in its place. So that's the back of your machine. Turn it back around to the front. So if you look at the machine actually comes in two pieces. You have the blower part of the machine where all your pressures are set, and you also have a humidifier. It's heated humidity, and the humidifier is on here completely for your comfort. The air blowing from the machine can dry out your airway, so the humidifier is attached just to make it more comfortable for you to wear. You actually can remove the humidifier from the CPAP unit, and if you look at the bottom of the unit, there's a release lever. If you pull on that, the humidifier comes apart from the machine. If you want to put it back together, simply push it back together like that. Now, the humidifier has a reservoir inside. If you lift up this cover, you'll lift it up 1-2 times, and you'll hear two little clicks. You can reach in and pull out the humidifier. The humidifier needs to be filled with distilled water. You do not want to use tap water. You can use distilled water. There's a line on the side of the humidifier, and you do not want to overfill it. You only want to fill it up to that line, and you can fill it directly through the top. Now, if you're using this every day, you should be changing your water every day. In order to take the cover off to dump your water out and for cleaning, if you look on the inside of the cover, there's a hard plastic piece. And what you'll do is you'll just put a little pressure on that, and the cover will come off easily. Then you can wash this with a mild soapy water, rinse it, and let it air dry. To put your cover back on, there's two protrusions here. You'll line this up. It'll work like a hinge where you'll line it up and snap the cover back down. Then the humidifier will push back in. Now it'll only go in one way, and if you don't have the cover on correctly, it's not going to fit in. So if you're struggling to put the reservoir back in, pull it back out and make sure that it's put together properly. And then the cover will just snap back down. Now if you go over to the other side of the machine, this is where the air is going to come out, where your pressures are going to come out. If you look at the top screen, there's a menu in here where there's 4 different boxes. there's a knob down here, and if I turn this, you can see how it will move around to the different boxes. In order to turn this unit on, it needs to be in the therapy box. Now when you get your machine from us, it will be all preset with your prescribed settings from your doctor, whether it's CPAP or BiPAP, and we'll have that all preset, so all you'll need to do is go ahead and turn the machine on. It'll be ready to go. There are a couple other functions though that you will be able to control, and I'll show you what those are. So in order to turn this on, I'm going to make sure that it's in my therapy box, and then the large button, I'm going to push it, and then what will happen is the unit will turn on. Your pressure will, whatever your ordered pressure is, will show up in the screen in the front, and this is where your air will be blowing out. Now you'll notice you can hear the air blowing out, but when it's connected to the tubing and to your mask, it's going to be quite a bit quieter. A couple other things I want to show you on the front. Now you'll notice when I turn this on that this little blue icon came on and a number showed up. If I turn this knob, I can adjust the settings, and what these settings are controlling is your humidifier. So I can turn it off and the little blue icon will go out, and if I turn it up, I'm adjusting my heat. So the higher I go up, the more heat and humidity I'll be getting out of the humidifier. Now people will often ask what to set that out at. Usually what we'll say is start it at 2 or 3. And then what you can do is you can adjust that for your own comfort. It's just going to depend on how much heat and humidity you need to have a comfortable night's sleep. So that's how you would adjust the humidifier. There's another button down here with a little triangle on it, and that's your ramp or delay button. So one feature, comfort feature, that is in this machine is called a ramp time. And what that is we can preset a pressure and a time in the machine, and when we push that button, what will happen is you'll see the pressure lower and the little triangle will show up in the screen. And what that means is your pressure will go lower for a preset amount of time, and over whatever preset amount of time you have in there, the machine will slowly work up to your prescribed pressure. That just makes it a little bit easier sometimes for you to get used to wearing it. Then in the morning, to shut it off, you'll just come hit that button again. Now you'll notice over here there's an outlet on the humidifier, and it spins, and you can spin it whichever direction you want to. Your tubing will connect to that outlet. If you take a look at the hose, the tubing, it's the same on both ends. One end will connect to the machine, and then the other end will connect to your mask, which could be a nasal mask, a full face mask, nasal pillows, whatever you have found works the best for you. Now there's a little bit of cleaning and maintenance that does go along with this. You're going to have the reservoir, the tubing, and your mask and headgear, and whatever cushion you're using that will need to be cleaned. It's recommended that you clean the cushion part of the mask daily, and that you change the water in your reservoir and clean the reservoir daily. And what you would use is a mild soap, and you need to stick with a mild dish soap. You don't want to use anything harsh, so you just want to stick with something very mild, or even a baby shampoo would work. And you'll want to wash it with the soap, rinse it out, and let it air dry. Now weekly you should be washing all of your tubing, your mask, everything should be washed weekly in a mild soapy water again, rinsed and air dried. And then all of your supplies will need to be replaced at some point. And so you'll need to keep track of that and when they need to be replaced. And when those need to be replaced, you can just call us and we'll have them sent out to you, or you can pick them up in our showroom. I hope that has been helpful. If you have any further questions, you can always call us at Midwest Medical in the CPAP department at 763-780-0100. Thank you.